Unsolicited advice.
What you whispering for? Yo, what's unsolicited advice? Take it or leave it. I love this weather. You know, it's cold outside, but I love it. You know, you get to enjoy your coffee, your favorite coat. You know, the bed feels a little bit more, snuggly or whatever you want to call it, but I love it. But it got me to thinking today, and I did some research about how each gender views priorities, or each other's priorities. Sometimes we always question, where am I on your list of priorities, especially in a relationship? Where am I? What is my value in this? How important am I to you? So, today, we're going to cover a couple of things. We're going to go through how a woman views a man's priorities, and how a man views a woman's priorities, and then hopefully we can come to some type of common ground. But it's a very hot topic only because I think sometimes we get the wrong idea. For men, we just want to know that we can provide, and that, that whatever happens, we can take care of it. For women, I ain't gonna say it's the opposite, but, women just want security. They want to know that, that every day that they wake up, things can get taken care of, and they don't have to worry about nothing. Guys are more built to survive and worry about things. When it comes to stuff like that, we kind of can go without. We're kind of built to just, make it day to day. Women don't want to do that, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just the nature of the beast. They're going to worry about stuff that we're not thinking about. They're more analytical. We're more work-based, they're more analytical. Think of it as, we're the workers and they're more like personnel. We worry about the bottom line. They worry about the logistics of things. So hopefully I can get, somebody out there to understand what I'm, understand why people think the way they think when it comes to their list of priorities. We're gonna have a little fun real quick though. We're gonna talk about how we view each other's priorities, how somebody say, oh, well, you only care about this, this, and this. So we'll start with the man. For men, we think that women, and we'll go from 10 to 1. We'll go from 10 to 1. So at number 10, we think that women only want us to care about our personal health. That should be like the last thing. Pretty much saying, we're supposed to give our lives for our family, which, everybody kind of knows that that's kind of just the nature of the beast. You're supposed to be the protector and the provider. So your personal health, from a man's point of view, we think that women don't care. It's probably the last on the list. Number 9, it's our side of the family. Our side of the family comes after the family that you've created. Which, to an extent, that is true. Once you start creating your own family, that is your new priority. But for a man, they view it as, your woman really don't want you to be giving all your energy to your side of the family all the time when you need to be focusing on your own. So, that should be number 9 on a man's priority list. As a man thinks that, as we think women view it. Number 8, and I know people are going to be like, well, what are you talking about? But number 8 is God. And we'll get back to number 8. But number 8 is God. God should be number 8 on a man's priority list. Number 7 is her side of the family. Her side of the family comes before your side of the family. You're supposed to always show that you're putting her first and her concerns first. So you literally, as a man, a lot of times you got to drop what's going on and say, you know what, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Whatever's going on, I'm here to take care of this, and that. I can't go visit such and such today. I got to help you with your side of the family. So that's number 7. Number 6 is upkeep. What I mean by upkeep is, on a man's priority list, upkeep means pretty much the house, whatever needs to be done around the house. If your woman needs something personal, your kids, whatever they need, things like that. Upkeep. Make sure pretty much everybody's happy and they have the things that they want and need. Number 5 is our job. Now, later on, I'm going to distinguish the difference between a career and a job. Career and a job. But a man's job comes in the top 5. Because you got to have money, to make sure everything else is in place. And number 4, of course, is the bills. The bills. That should be in the top 5 as well. So number 4 is bills. Bills are a priority. Should be a priority in a man's life. So as a woman sees it, that's up there. You got to make sure, like you said, that you have that job and that the job pays for the bills. The bills are up there. You can't, you got to have a roof over your head, lights on, all that stuff. So, as a woman views it, these are your priorities as a man. Number 3, financial stability. So a woman sees it that should be a major priority in a man's life, because he does not need to be coming to a woman or trying to talk to a woman if he's not financially stable. If he doesn't have his own things, if he doesn't have his own money, if he can't provide for her or take her out to eat or do things for her. Some people ain't going to like that, but it's just the reality of it. It's just the truth. It's a priority. You got to make sure if you don't have those things, everything else starts crumbling. It does. Number 2, of course, is the kids. If you have kids, they're a major priority. They are a major priority. Nothing else needs to be said about that. You birthed them. You helped bring them into this world. They are your responsibility. They are probably the most fragile thing you have to, take care of and make sure that they're, secured and safe. So that one's probably so understandable. But of course, at number one is your lady, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever she is to you. She is definitely number 1. This is how a woman views the priority list. She's number 1. The kids are number 2. Your financial security, then the bills, then work. I know some of it you don't feel like lines up, but it's all about what the priority is. Then the upkeep, then her family. The reason I put God number 8 is because sometimes a woman has you put so many things before God, but yet they want you to be God-fearing. They want you to believe, in the Lord. Be, a church-going man, whatever you want to call it. They want you to be God-fearing, but yet they put so many other things on the priority list. It just gets lower and lower. Trust me. You can have all the faith in the Lord you want, but it's not going to save you from a woman that's not happy or not content or not satisfied. Number 9, of course, is your own family. Sorry, but once you create a new family, your family does not matter as much as it used to. And of course, number 10 is a man's personal health, which is a very dangerous thing because we don't really focus on how much a man goes through. I mean, think about how it used to be and how it kind of still is. You looking at your grandfather, he's got these just war-torn hands. His body is broke, his back hurts. He's just a broken down man. But if you notice, he made sure that his wife and his kids had everything that they need. Your father, you look at everything he goes through, and, people don't think about the mental and physical stress that takes on a man, that takes a toll on a man. It's a very daunting task to make sure all those things on that priority list are taken care of. But if you notice, the woman is number 1. God is all the way down at number 8, because by the time you find this woman that you want, all these other things, trust me, all these other things matter. You're going to have people say, oh, no, if you got God in your life, everything will be okay. That's good to say. That's a good attitude to have. But love and spirituality only get you so far. It's just the reality of it. I know it doesn't sound fun. It doesn't sound, you know, loving and romantic, but it's the truth. So now that we got through that, we're going to talk about the woman. Now, the woman, it's a little bit different. It's almost like a Uno reverse in a way. So, of course, her priority, number one, we're going to do 1 through 10 with her. Since we did 10 through 1 for a man, we're going to do 1 through 10 for a woman. And this is how a man views a woman's priorities. Number one is God. God comes before everything. Everything. I mean, just look at this past election. You know, the moment they knew Trump won, the first thing they said is, well, God's my president. Trust me, every time something's wrong or don't go right, you best believe you're going to hear Jesus or the Lord right behind it. You know, you're going to hear God or Jesus right behind it. If a woman doesn't get her way or something ain't right in a woman's life, she's going to make sure she corrects it by adding God or Jesus into the conversation. You know, either to shut you up or just to let you know, don't matter what you say, God. But number two, of course, is kids. You know, number two, same thing for the man. So if you ever wanted to know that old thing of, you know, if the house is burning, who do you say first? I say the kids, but you know, because the mom and the father are supposed to protect the kid. So the kids you save first. They are the future. But that's just my opinion. Number three is her career. And of course, this is a very, very hot topic too. But if you notice, the last couple of decades, that's been more prominent. It's the woman's career. You got to understand, women had to fight so much to be able to have a career or compete with men or have the same thing that men have when it comes to a job or a career. So they're very protective of that. But yes, number three is their career. You're not going to get in the way of that. Now, earlier, when I put it on the man's list, I said job. There's a big difference, you know, of the importance. So when it comes to a man, everybody just says, I don't care. You just need a job. But when it comes to a woman, it's more of, you know what? We don't need anything to get in the way of your career. We're going to help you with your kids. We're going to help you get through this, you know, divorce, or we're going to help you get through your deadbeat, baby daddy. We're going to make sure you go to school. We're going to take care of you, because it's always about a woman's career, where it is, hey, you're a man. You just need a job. Go work at a factory. Go do construction work. Go pick up some hours at McDonald's. You better do something. But when it comes to a woman, it's more of, you know, career. Everything's career focused. So, you know, it's very telling. And number four is her money. Her money, not our money, but her money. I'll let you figure that one out. You already know what's up with that. Number five is her upkeep. So those are the top five. Her upkeep, meaning she needs either you to take care of it, or her career and her money's going to take care of it. Or somebody outside of it. Maybe her father or a side dude is going to take care of it. But, you know, hey, she's going to make sure her upkeep is her upkeep. Something's going to happen if you're going to be in her life. And now, the other side of that is, a lot of times if they don't have that man in their life, the upkeep is a little lower on the list, because they're going to try to make sure that their kids are okay first. So, yeah, there's that side of it. You know, for all y'all that's going to, you know, go out there and start arguing about what I'm saying. There's just, you know, two sides to every coin, but in reality, if both people are in the picture, this is how it goes. Her upkeep is important. You want her to look nice, right? You want to still be attracted to her, where you're going to have to make sure she has what she needs. It's just the truth of it. Number six is vacation time or personal time. Maybe, you know, hanging out with her friends, you know, going on trips, things like that. Those are important. They are. And I'm only going based on, and I had to do the research. These are just facts. These are facts. These are the priorities. And more than likely, these things are way ahead of some other things. So yes, vacations, if you notice, that's all you see now. Everybody wants to go on trips. Everybody wants to go somewhere exotic and nice. You know, you start wondering if they even work or who's footing the bill, because you and I know they don't make that much money. But hey, you know, anything to live the dream, right? Number 7 is personal health, you know, but all that is kind of that whole upkeep and vacation and personal health. It's kind of, you probably can smash all that in. They can all be probably number 5. They can all be number 5 at once in a way, because if everything is right, that's how she's wanting it to be, to make sure she's taking care of herself and she's getting her time. So, and we'll get back to that in a minute. Her side of the family. Her side of the family is number 8. So, her family is always going to come before your family. Unless she's just a good woman and, you know, she makes sure that it's either balanced or she goes above and beyond. 9 times out of 10, a man is always going to be like, no, you know, I'm here for you. You know, her side of the family is the most important. You know, it just is what it is. As a man, your job is never done. You always have to show that you're going to be the monarch and the head of it. You know, especially if she has a strong father in her life. You know, you have to show that you can take his place. So there's a lot of things that come with that. You know, it's almost like being a noble knight or a soldier or, you know, a noble warrior. You have to constantly prove yourself on that battlefield. You know, just what it is. Number 9 is her man. After all that's said and done, usually a woman is pretty happy. And now she has time to attend to you and to cater to you. You have fulfilled all her needs and her expectations. So now you're a priority. Everything else is done. You've done your part, and she's gotten everything that she needs, and she's happy. So now she's in that place where she can be in her soft era, which I think is just crazy. You know, a woman should be always feminine and soft, but here we are. But yeah, after all that's done, then she will have time for you. So you just have to keep that stuff in mind. Number 10 is her car. It's last on her priorities. And then if you know, you know. If you know, you know. You know, the engine check light's going to stay on. You know, she's going to constantly want to know why the car is wrong. Usually 9 times out of 10 is just because it needs an oil change. She probably ain't had an oil change in God knows when. You know, the tires, you know, about as bald as I am. You know. I mean, you know, there's a lot of stuff when it comes to that. But I would say number 10 is her car. Now, those 2 lists, one is a man's priority, one is a woman's priority. I put that there because that's the stereotypical list. This is how men view women and how women view men when it comes to their priorities. Now, some of y'all actually are probably living a better situation when it comes to that, and y'all are making sure that you're making them the top priority. But I will say, you have to remember to do that. You need to keep him as your top priority, and he needs to keep you as a woman as a top priority. You know, yes, you are there to provide for the kids, but you can't provide anything for the kids if y'all two are not working together as partners and, you know, distributing the love and affection on an even playing field. You should never be it should never be a competition. You should never constantly have somebody trying to prove themselves to you. You know, if they love you and they're there every day and they're with you through it, take it. Take it as it is. Love is a very tricky thing. And if you're not careful, you know, it'll be, you know, resentment, you know, people being vindictive, hate, you know, loss, love loss, all that. But I was intrigued about when I started doing my research about this and just studying it and looking things up. I was very curious about, what the priorities were. So when I looked this stuff up, I was like, this is crazy. This, there's no way. But it is about to be 2025. So that's kind of how things are right now. It used to didn't be this way, but as the decades go by and people evolve and you have all these things out here, all these distractions, priorities are a little different now. But if, we get back to the basics, I think that, we can right the ship. But like I said, that's just my unsolicited advice. You can take it or leave it.